Besides, you're holding up others in another department. Now, is that fair?
Well...
Look, Holman. No more snitching smokes. Is it agreed?
Okay.
You did the right thing, Hal. I know Holman, and you've got to let him know that you won't stand for loafing. It's a good thing we caught that just when we did. Loafing, slowing down are contagious, just like McNulty's lateness could have been.
Yeah. Looks like I'm the one that's late.
Could be, Hal, could be. But don't take it too hard. Just because a worker's absent doesn't mean that he's deliberately or necessarily irresponsible. Absenteeism can be due to sudden or unexpected circumstances, something the worker couldn't help, perhaps. Hello, Garrity.
How are you, sir?
Garrity, you never seem to be able to put in a full week. You're always taking days off.
And if I was smart, I'd take them all off. I'm getting fed up doing the same thing day after day. I've been cutting 6-foot pieces for too long.
It's tough, Hal, when a man loses interest in his work.
He's not the only one I've got that feels that way.
Well, switch them, Hal. Switch them. Swap jobs around and let each man learn as many skills as you can without letting production down.
Maybe you ought to be foreman. I've checked your work. I know it's not too heavy. It's got variety. Yet you're not here every day to do it.
Maybe you didn't check far enough.
How so?
See what I mean?
I see what you mean, but I don't know what we can do about it.
There's lots we can do. We can check on the ships. And maybe we can persuade some of the merchants and professional people to change ours. In any event, Hal, we ought to know the facts first. And you can do that.
Yes, I know. Now, look here, I want to work. But I can't come in when I'm not feeling well. I've had a cold for weeks now.
I've noticed you haven't been up to par, Marie. What have you done about it?
I've tried to get rid of it.
Well, we've done a lot to prevent illness and accidents, but the workers don't always take advantage of it. You know, Hal, you could do a lot of education along those lines. Now, you could check a sniffle and send it to the dispensary before it becomes a cold.
Hal Findlay.
Loafing, slowing down are contagious.
Hal Findlay.
Get the facts first.
Hal Findlay.
Well, there's lots we can do.
I sure hope I don't dream.
Again. Off for another day at Crystal Lake.
We're always having good times together.
Wish my family were like that. We never do anything. Never have the time.
Neither do we.
You know, so many Across the Hudson River from New York City and westward into the state of New Jersey is the city of Englewood. Englewood could be any one of hundreds of American communities, population 25,000, main street with busy stores, banks, and movie theaters, attractive suburban homes with their neat lawns and their well-groomed look. In size and in the kind of people who live here, Englewood is like many other American towns. And that was one of the reasons it has become the first town in the world to have an unusual kind of telephone service.
Oh, I'll go see over there.
You finished your coffee, John. I'll answer it. Probably the mailman. John, it's from Sally. She says the baby has the measles. Oh, dear.
Well, now, measles.
In our religion, they kept us straight. If a fellow wanted to go wrong, he had to work at it. But today, well, home just doesn't seem like home anymore. Who needs it? Not me. That's because you haven't found the right girl. I found dozens of them. But why keep a cow when milk's so cheap, huh? Now, don't talk like that, Johnny. Oh, I reckon it's hard not to be bitter over a broken home. But you are responsible for you. Besides, you're a stripe above those rowdies out there. You don't have to sink to their level. They're young yet. They do and say a lot of crazy kid stuff, but that's what they are. They're just kids. Even so, what they come up with makes a lot of sense. Look, you are a revolutionary. Well, they're revolutionaries. What did you say? You're calling us look like a rabble? Well, God knows most of these kids don't look like anything human. You're right, Johnny. God does know. And he's been real patient about it so far, don't you think? But don't compare that riffraff to your founding fathers. We were making a place where people could worship God. And these people want to deny God and want to deny him to others. Then what do they offer instead? We thought of only building something. And these people think of only what they can destroy. And again, I say, what do they offer in its place? Well, they say, in order to build a better world, you got to destroy this one. And that's one of the things they say you think makes sense. Look, I got to find a book up there for this paper I'm writing. If we have any visitors, they're likely to come in this way. The door's locked, but you never can tell. Would you mind standing guard over the door while I'm up there? If you hear anybody fooling around, well, give me a whistle, okay? Sure. So what are some of the better things they're gonna build for you? All right. Name me just one.
Well, plenty of things could be better in this country.
That's right. Plenty of things are a sight better than they were. But what I want is for you to name me one thing that is better in any other country than it is right here. Especially in them countries that gang out there claims to admire so much. Countries like communist Russia and China. Look, I keep saying they're only kids. Well, stop saying it. This nation was founded by young people. When we think of our Pilgrim Fathers, we think of old men with gray beards. Well, most of the people that came over in the Mayflower were in their 20s. Many were even teenagers. Captain John Smith, my ancestor and yours, was in his 20s when he was founder and president of the Virginia colony. And George Washington was 22 when he was colonel of the British Army during the French and Indian Wars. And oh yes, on the boat that followed the Mayflower over, there was a young lad of 19, I believe, Philip Delanoy. Now, one of his descendants became president of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. But the founding father was only 19. That I had forgotten, that they were kids too. No, let's say they were young people. There's a difference. They were young people who believed in God. Now, the weirdos of today, they deny God. And you know why, don't you? They have to. Because as long as people believe in God, then... Shh. What's that?
Oh, it's you, John.
Good evening, Dr. Hardin.
Oh, I saw the light.
Oh, well, I'm knocking out a paper on heartbeats of turtles.
With a baseball bat?
Oh, well, I saw it outside the field house on my way over here.
Well, I heard some voices. I thought maybe someone was in here with you. What's this?
What is it?
Huh.
Coat button.
Yeah, but it's a pine tree coat button like men used to wear in the Revolutionary days. I suppose it came off of one of those hippies' costumes or something, huh? Thought maybe some of those SDSers might be in here. You know, the Students for a Dirtier Society. Got a tip that they might try and sneak in here and vandalize the place, you know? Say, you didn't hear anything about that, did you? Of course, I know you're not one of them.
Oh, heard a little something, nothing definite.
Why didn't you report it?
Look, I'm no stool pigeon.
Well, I guess you had something in mind, then, huh?
No, not as long as they stay out of this room.
Once again, they headed west. Last year, in every summer month, 30,000 people left the Great Plains and hit the highways for the Pacific coast, the last border. Blown out, baked out, and broke. Nothing to stay for, nothing to hope for. Homeless, penniless, and bewildered, they joined the great army of the highway. No place to go, and no place to stop. Nothing to eat, nothing to do. Their homes on four wheels, their work a desperate gamble for a day's labor in the fields along the highway. The price of a sack of beans or a tank of gas. All they ask is a chance to start over, and a chance for their children.
Through such precision instruments as these, our standards of accuracy are being changed. Science has opened the gateway to new conquests in accuracy of measurement. The yardstick has expanded until hundredths of an inch. Thousandths of an inch, even millionths, have become measurable quantities. And the power of man's senses has been extended to reach into a new world that he cannot see or hear or feel without the aid of science. A world in which the most familiar objects become strange and unrecognizable because our standards of comparison have grown infinitely small. Chemists and engineers, the scientists of industry, are becoming more and more familiar with the fantastic land beyond the microscope. Through lenses which magnify hundreds and thousands of times, metal experts count and even measure the crystal structures which make up iron and steel. A measuring stick smaller than a pinhead is used, with tiny lines a thousandth of an inch apart. Under the searching lens of the microscope, small blocks of metal in the laboratory tell the secrets of the millions of tons of iron and steel that go into the huge manufacturing plants. And in these plants, microscopic precision controls the form and size and surface of every part. Through the development for factory use of all these precision devices for the measurement of things infinitely small, within limits of tolerance that are almost absolute, we are now able to meet the precision demands of quantity production of fine parts on the basis of standardization and complete.
Some serious thought, and then get together for another meeting next Monday after dinner to discuss a plan for spending and all these other matters.
Good idea. I'd like to have these family meetings every week.
After we've worked this out, later on we can check up on how we're doing.
Well, it looks as though I really started something.
Say, Mom, you're swell.
That's how the Millers came to manage their home, so it would be more fun.
Does it really work?
These guides to home management, can my family use them?
Well, let me give you a few clues. Take the matter of schedule. Here's a breakfast scene at the Millers. Quiet, easy. By following a practical morning schedule, they're all ready in time for school and work. And in the evening, Mother has plenty of pep left to entertain friends, because by scheduling the work she does each day, she saves herself from doing too much. And when seasonal jobs are scheduled, Harold is glad to help his father. It doesn't happen that he has other important plans for the day. Of course, this is also a matter of responsibilities, which are divided up according to individual abilities and interests. Besides doing assigned jobs and caring for his own clothes and belongings, each is responsible for being considerate of the others. For instance, putting things back where others expect to find them. With responsibilities go privileges. Although the strength of the family lies in unity, each member has individual rights. The right to open his own mail, the right of privacy, to work alone, undisturbed by loud noises in the house or by unwanted visitors, and the right to have opinions respected. This privilege the Millers protect in their family council meetings. Let's listen now for a few pointers on the fourth guide to home management, finances.
As you know, our financial position has greatly improved during the 6 months we've been planning our spending instead of letting our money slip away from us. However, during the past 2 months, what with Mother's operation and Catherine's dental work, our medical expenses have been very heavy, more than our budget could provide for. So the question is, where is the money going to come from?
Well, we could take our vacation money.
Oh, no. That's a big thing we've been saving for.
Well, can't we find the money in some other account?
No, not that much money.
Maybe a little bit here and a little bit there.
Well, I don't know.
Look, that new electric mixer we'd figured on buying, I can do without that.
No, Mother. You've been wanting that for so long.
Wait a minute. If Mother can do without a mixer, I'll skip my new dress. That is, if Mother will help me make over the one Aunt Grace gave me.
Of course I will, dear.
Well, if that's the way, I guess we can patch up the old seat covers in the car, put off getting new ones until next spring.
Sure thing. And if I can get a little help with my jobs around here, I ought to be able to clear time to pick up some extra money working after...
The trick lies not in having the most have. That's how the Millers are using good home management to achieve a happier family life. Now, do you think they're successful?
Looks good to me.
To help make your home a well-managed home.
Again. Off for another day at Crystal Lake.
They're always having good times together.
Wish my family were like that. We never do anything. Never have the time.
Neither do we.
You know, so many people are asking how the Millers manage to have so much fun as a family.
What's the answer? Is it money?
Or is it magic?
Neither. It's something they worked out to...
as possible is among the most complex that man has ever devised. When you dial a number, the equipment obediently receives the information, stores it up, and remembers it. It searches out an electrical pathway for your call, choosing the one that is most suitable at a given instant. If it finds one pathway blocked, it tries another, and another, and another. If it runs into trouble, it automatically reports the trouble and its probable source. Parts of the equipment connected with other parts exchange information. They do this sometimes by a touch system, such as the blind use in reading Braille. Sometimes it's done with a stream of electrons flowing through space. Sometimes it uses an elaborate system of musical notes, played in chords that are heard and interpreted by a mechanical ear. But even that's not all of it. Keeping track of the details of the call is done automatically too. When you dial a number, holes are punched in a continuous tape representing your telephone number and the number you dial. More holes are punched to show the time when you start talking and when you finish talking and hang up. If you get a busy signal or the number doesn't answer, no charge is made. Since all this information is in the form of tiny holes in a long piece of paper, the meaning of these tiny holes has to be expressed in words and figures. This is done by running the tape through several machines which assemble the information, translate, sort and summarize it, figure the length of your call, apply the correct rate, and, you guessed it, type your toll statement. But for the Englewood telephone user, it's as easy as dialing a local call. Remember that number Mrs. Warren looked up in her personal telephone notebook? 318 Garfield 5 2368. The only difference between that and a local number is the 3 digits at the beginning. 318 is the code for the San Francisco area. If her daughter had lived in Chicago, Mrs. Warren would have dialed the code 312 and then the telephone number. Cleveland, 216. Boston, 617. Altogether, more than 80 numbered areas are planned for the United States and parts of Canada. For some time past, area numbers like these have been used by telephone operators in dialing long-distance calls. When the people in the Englewood area with 1- and 2-party lines were given this service, they could dial to 13 of these areas. That meant that more than 11 million telephones could be dialed from Englewood. When will the 11 million be able to dial Englewood? And what about the remaining millions of telephones in the Bell system? The answer lies in the future. But this much we do know. Over the years, we have seen the results of a successful formula. Planned research to anticipate the demands of a growing nation, available resources, plus the continued efforts of many people. This combination has given America steady improvements in telephone service. And the story of long-distance dialing points the way to even better telephone service for you tomorrow.
Sound is all around us, everywhere. It beats at our eardrums until much of the time we're hardly conscious of it. But on this particular Saturday morning, Jimmy Foster...
Sure, we have the right of dissent in America. You realize how much dissent you would dare voice if you lived in Russia or China, or one of the other communist countries that they profess to admire so much? One little peep, bang, kaput. Sure. The right of dissent is a very real and precious part of America. Its power has helped bring about some of our most cherished social and economic advances. But even in America, the right of dissent is not the right to destroy. I mean, if a goal is holy, you only debase it in the eyes of the world if you stoop to unholy acts to attain it.
You call free speech an unholy act?
Free speech. It's a beautiful concept that's been deliberately fouled up. Freedom of speech is now freedom of filth.
I agree. They're throwing abuse, not bullets. I mean, words never hurt anybody.
John, if you believe that, you are nuts. Words a lot less lethal. They have hurt plenty. You remember the crowd in the street looking up at the man on the ledge of a tall building? Inside, his wife and his priest were pleading with him to come back in. And down below, the crowd was chanting, jump, 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 jump. You know what happened? He jumped. The words killed him. And the people down below shouting those words were murderous. And what's happening on high school and college campuses, huh?
There should be more shooting than looting. That's the only thing I agree with. Black folks trying to loot when they should be shooting. If you're gonna loot, loot your gun store.
Rabble-rousers like Rap Brown calling on student bodies to carry guns. Well, as you can see, words breed guns and more guns, and retaliatory guns, and bombs, and killing. All part of this freedom of filth. Filthy language no decent person would speak. Filthy books and magazine no decent person would read. And filthy movies and stage shows no decent person would sit through. All of this filth. To what purpose?
Fast buck, I suppose.
No, that's not the purpose. That's the lure.
Lure?
Sure. But the single, all-out, deadly purpose is the destruction of this country. See, our enemies, headed and masterminded by worldwide communists, they found out that they can't destroy us from without until first they weaken us from within. And John, they think they can do it. They have every reason to think so. Historian Arnold Toynbee points out that's how 19 out of 21 nations have gone down the drain before us. Internal decay. The breakdown of moral, ethical, and religious principles.
That's what I tried to tell him. The ragtags have to deny God, because as long as people believe in God and his laws of decency, then they won't go along with what these lowlives want to do.
To create an atmosphere of general acceptance to all kinds of degeneration. Then to sell their propaganda, they need a lure. The fast buck, huh? It's lure enough for certain types of publishers, producers. Then for the younger generation, the lure, of course, is free sex, you see. Because it makes light of marriage and breaks down the institution of the home quicker than anything else. Instead of love, honor, and cherish as long as you both shall live, it's, hey, let's shack up, baby. As long as you please me sexually, or as long as you pay the bill. Or until someone else comes along that I like just as much.
Oh, Doc, your bucket won't hold water.
Come again?
You paint free sex too black and married sex too white. But forget what I think personally, but what you think. Your own university doesn't agree with you. Here's this year's catalog. Turn to page 27.
I know what it says.